a lot of franchises. I've played on 7 different franchises,
so you know.
I know. There is stability here, and there is structure here, and as a result, you get success.
The parade is getting closer and closer to the start line, if you will. And the amazing thing is that LeBron James is not injured. We have been locked in on our discussion and watching some of these interviews, but you've been able to see a couple times that a remake of Hangover 3,
please
where the giraffe takes it in the wrong direction, has occurred a couple times. And thank goodness for the dexterity of the greatest player in the world as we take a peek at the LeBron cam, flanked by his son, and on the other side, I believe, the man I call 19. Here comes another one. Everybody, anybody, everybody, get down, get low, get low, get low. That is not funny, people. That man has got to pay attention. Hey, look out, bro. Oh, that's not real low there. Play around. Oh, man, my goodness. Let me tell you something. If our buddy, the assistant director of sports media relations here at the Miami Heat, Michael Lissack, has to duck, everybody better get out. As we see the color guard leading the way. Bernie, you are a champion of the world.
He's got the belt.
Oh, my goodness. I've seen him go off the turnbuckle, you know, with the old Hulk Hogan leg drop. I'll take it that far back, maybe. I don't know anything about the new guys. That's all you, George. That's all you, baby. But it's great to see this image again as the great firefighters of Miami-Dade County lead the way with the bucket. Look at the fans, man. And in this era, you get to capture everything instantly for yourself.
Whoa!
What are you doing to me, people?
Look at that.
I've got breaking news. There is an update. A lightning bolt did hit the Cole family van. Oh, we were told that it was smoking in the garage, that it wasn't going to make it. But let me tell you something about the great state of Ohio. Every time you count us out, we'll come back in and come through.
Well, I heard it was Hialeah ingenuity with the jumper cables. That's what I heard.
I'm sure, and there's some South Jersey in there, too.
There's some duct tape and some chewing gum.
There's South Jersey right there, duct tape.
Yeah, no doubt. Paper clips in there.
Oh, man, it's great to see the championship band that saw 2 high school championships at Dayton-Dunbar High School. I'm sure some big wins at Cleveland State, and now 2 NBA championships here in Miami. We have way too much love for that terrible van. As everything is getting underway, that big bus number 1 right there. Coach Riley. Got the Harrisons and the Rileys. Yes, Chris Riley. 3 rings, but it ain't a circus. As everything rolls underway, we let you take in some of the sights and sounds of the 2013 Miami Heat Championship celebration on Sunsports, presented by Gulfstream Park. Let the parade begin. And now you see the parade making that left turn onto Brickell, the escort ready to guide them north on United States Route 1. Head over the Miami River via the Brickell Bridge. Frank Ford kind enough to give us all the history on that a little bit earlier. And right by George's house, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
no, it's a general vicinity. I don't think they're going to flock to your home now.
But they could. We come back for lunch afterwards.
Right. Yeah. So you got the pig in the pit, baby. We're going to
we'll make that work. I like how the horns are chanting "Let's Go Heat." There's a little "Let's Go Heat" synergy right there.
Come on, baby. This city is rhythm. And sometimes it gets you. I understand. I love Chris Bosh. Him having that trophy there. We went on about the symbolism of it, but you see a couple guys with them, with JV and the Warden there. Guys who have to remain professional and locked into it. I saw Jarvis last night, and I said to him, I said, hey, man, your incentive for this ring is to get in here and work hard this summer. That kid could be so important to the defensive rotation for the Miami Heat because he can jump right out of the gym, very similar to Joel Anthony, and be an incredible impact, some young legs to help out when Coach Bolster wants to roll out a little further in the rotation.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the Heat organization has done so well, too, Jax, is they really develop from within. They bring in players that they know they don't necessarily need right this second, and they work with them. They get the work habits of their players. They have great practices and skill development, and then they have an opportunity to be able to work with them in the summer league. Look at the Zaz over there. It's phenomenal.
The Zaslow family rolling nice in the Ferrari right there.
I think to John's point, I mean, you can go as far back as a guy like Ike Austin, you know, when you were playing here,
right.
You know, and developing big men in particular has been something the organization has done a great job of.
Unlike that era, these guys are hanging around for a minute and deciding to stay here. It's a different era. Obviously, the championship war will cause you to take a little less money to hang around and become immortal rather than having the ATM be able to roll out like you might want it to. But I think those opportunities present themselves throughout life when you have this golden ball of glory waiting for you.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think a lot of it not only has to do with the championship caliber of this team, but the quality of the players and the way they can make you better, right? I mean, LeBron, not just a scorer, he's an incredible distributor, and he makes the game easier for everybody else. So when you're a talented player, and that's why you have the likes of a Ray Allen who come here, because when you're a talented player, you want to play with the best, have a chance to win championships, and make the game easier for yourself. And that's what LeBron and Dwayne and Chris Bosh do. And I expect, you know, more guys to want to come here as long as those guys are wearing those Miami Heat jerseys.
It is wonderful when you get an opportunity to, and it's rare for some of us, to watch this team practice. Coach Bolster runs such a spirited yet efficient, John. I'm like, your days, not that they weren't efficient, they were just long. really, really long practices. But he tries to develop permanent habits, you know, through those sessions.
Right.
And on the trip to China, I had the rare opportunity to watch all those practices and didn't miss a one because it's so rare to be able to get the opportunity to do it during the season. There simply aren't as many practices, number one. And then number two, they tend to be working on stuff they don't want me to see. But when push comes to shove, to be able to just get a dose of how hard they work, it echoes everything that you're talking about. Because the hardest workers are the guys at the top of the marquee. So you can't sneak around in the middle or at the end of the rotation just trying to get by.
That's true. It's called accountability, and this team has it. The coaches will call you out from the stars down to the mid-range player to the guy just trying to hang on, and they will call you out if you're not getting it done. And the unique thing is, as Jax, you mentioned, is the players will do the same on this team because they're led by guys like LeBron and Dwayne who have an unparalleled work ethic. They'll come in sometimes, Jax, during the season we see him shooting the ball at 1 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning on their own because they have the ability to access the arena. And it's amazing to me to see that kind of effort by players. And that's why a guy like LeBron, who's a 4-time MVP, continues to come back every year with a new facet to his game, whether it's a post game, whether it's a better outside shot, he continues to improve.
And then, George, this year you have a guy come in, already a champion, sealed for the Hall of Fame, one of the greatest shooters ever, and he starts to change the culture immediately as LeBron James wants to be around him to improve his game to that wonderful 50, 40, 90% shooting for field goal, three-point shooting, and free throws. And then also with the other sharpshooters, they gravitate to him. Again, great habits, creating more interest, creating better players.
And you really have to credit Pat Riley and Andy Ellisberg and everyone involved in the front office, Nick Harrison, to be able to get a guy like Ray Allen here and really just continue that legacy that we've started here in South Florida with this team. But yeah, were you on one of those runs after practice with Ray and LeBron? You do any of those jogging sessions like they did in D.C., Jax, or no?
Look at me.
I did see.
What is wrong?
Well, because you did tell me. I saw the video proof or the photo proof of you doing the shooting with them. So I was just wondering if you were able to do a jog with them.
Set shots versus running around town is the difference between me and you, my friend.
Yeah, but no question. You bring in a guy like Ray Allen, as you said, a surefire Hall of Famer. Right. It just sets a different tone. If there wasn't already a tone to begin with, you're talking about a guy with arguably the best work ethic of anyone in the history of the NBA in Ray Allen.
And there they are, the folks who will set the tone once again, the leadership. We haven't had a chance to talk a lot about that, man, and why don't we take the opportunity to do it?
Call him 3.
I'm not allowed to call him Dwayne anymore. No. That's right. 3. We take the W and turn it on its side and make it look like a 3. He comes here, again, a little under the radar, slightly, from the guys that were at the top of the marquee from his class. He exploded in that tournament in 2003 for Marquette. But I don't know about you guys, and I only missed one of his seasons. It was tough to anticipate he was going to become one of the all-time greats at his position, which, by the way, he is. The face of this franchise and a 3-time champion off of what we thought we knew coming out in 2003.
The thing that strikes me is just how he's continued to develop his game. When he first got here, much more of a streaky driver and slasher, and he's developed that mid-range game. A lot of it actually with Coach Eric Spoelstra, while Spo was an assistant coach, working with him one-on-one, and they developed that trust and respect for each other that still is there today. And Spo check that, D. Wade continued to work on his game. And the thing that really always grabs me about Dwayne's game is his courage. I'm always amazed by his fearlessness when it really matters. He will take the shot, never doubts himself. He could be having a horrid game, but when the game's on the line, he wants the ball, and more often than not, he makes the play. And I think he'll always be known for that trait and his ability to compete and finish.
To piggyback on that, if you remember when he first got here, guys, he ran the point when he was here. I mean, you want to talk about a guy whose game has evolved, and we saw some of that. This series, he had a couple of big assist games where he took control, where Coach Spoelstra went without a traditional point guard, and Dwayne handled the ball, and you saw kind of an 03-04 Wade. And yeah, his game evolved. He started, with the post game. His shot got better. That left elbow jumper has been pretty money for him in his career. We saw a lot of that in Game 7 here against the San Antonio Spurs. But yeah, just everything he's done